Esther Buerki, book writing expert and writer, and I help women to overcome the fear of writing and publishing their book. And if you wish to be supported in your book writing journey, join my next masterclass. You'll find the link in the show notes. And today's episode is a very special one where I will be talking about my own story. I'd like to share with you my personal experience with writing. And I'd like to speak about my struggles and challenges with writing. Well, I didn't always have the courage to speak up like I do today. It's been a long journey where I always felt not being good enough. Actually, I worked a lot on my unworthiness with a lot of psychologists and psychoanalysis, and I took antidepressants for too many years to get rid of my dark moments, of my dark thoughts, my depressive states, and overwhelmed with feelings. I felt I was a sponge and I was taking over all other feelings of other people. You might have had such experiences too, and you might have thought that it will never end, this story of feeling not good enough, of feeling overwhelmed. And if such feelings like unworthiness sneak in your head while you try to write, it is very difficult to keep on writing and feeling good about your writing. When I look back at my time as a journalist about 30 years ago, when I needed to write a newspaper article a day, I think what made me push through and finish this article in my darkest moments was the pressure from my boss or from my colleagues. I felt I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't want to appear as a weak person. And I pushed myself so hard as I was one of the rare women in the editor team. So I didn't want to hear my male colleagues talk about me that I wasn't capable to write my articles. No, never ever. So I forced myself really hard. But this didn't help to improve my self-confidence and letting go my feelings of not being good enough. They accumulated more and more, or they didn't get solved at all. So later, whenever I had to write for someone else, for a client, for example, I felt bad again. And these voices in my head started turning again. And finally, I decided to not to write again for someone else, but for myself. But imagine, this didn't help either, or still it doesn't help always. These voices in my head which say, oh, this sentence sounds really awkward, or this paragraph doesn't make sense, or this paragraph is too complicated, or why shall I write this? Nobody will be interested in, or I spent so much time on my writing, and at the end, someone will tell me that this is just crap. Or when I start a new chapter, why don't I start differently? This sounds too emotional, or too irrational, too self-centered, too. You can fill in the blanks. These voices, they are so hard to eliminate. Sometimes it's easier to cope with, definitely when I'm in a beautiful, positive state, when I feel good, fulfilled, happy with my life and everything around me. But I know these negative voices while writing so well when I'm trying to prove myself that I'm good at writing, that I'm good at telling stories, Then I put so much pressure on myself, and it's practically impossible to write a beautiful text. Do you know these kind of situations? Maybe you experience it in other areas of your life with a goal you want to achieve, finding a new job or losing weight or getting pregnant, educating your child. There are so many situations in our lives where we put so much pressure on ourselves and we make us suffer so much. How can we help ourselves in order to suffer less? Great question. I always ask myself this question. Why do I suffer so much? But this is definitely the wrong question. A better question is, what do I need to do that I don't feel so much pressure? So the other day, I was writing again a newspaper article because I have decided that I wanted to share my gift with others, my writing. And I wanted to enjoy writing portraits about interesting people or special people who have something to give to the world. And because I remembered that in the past, I always loved to interview people and to write about them. So after interviewing my elderly yoga teacher, I was sitting again at my computer, like in the old times as a journalist, and these negative voices started popping up again and again. They said, "Oh, this beginning won't be accepted by the newspaper. It's too awkward." Or, "You cannot write this because the person I portrayed won't like it." Or, "This sentence is too complicated." I was again in this hamster wheel of negative thoughts, and I decided to quit it, to quit the hamster wheel. What did I do? I told myself, you wanted to have the joy of writing, so enjoy it. Write as you wish and do not think any moments of others. First, it didn't work quite well, but the more I continued telling myself, be yourself, write what you love, and keep enjoying your writing flow, the more it worked. And I finished this portrait about my elderly yoga teacher I adore very much, feeling very joyful. What I also told myself is, I'm so grateful to write this article. Many people couldn't do this. This is my special gift. And if someone doesn't like this article, so what? I enjoyed writing it, and I want to improve my writing with joy, with more newspaper articles in the future. So, I hope this short insight will help you with your writing. And if you want more of this, please sign up for my next masterclass, How to Write and Publish Your Book, with the link in the show notes. And please do me a favor, share this podcast with someone you know who is struggling with writing her book or who has been dreaming of doing it for a long time. So thank you so much and have an amazing day.